Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hope you all had a fantastic weekend, and I just want to say happy Thanksgiving. So with today's new video, what we're going to be talking about is something that I've gotten asked quite frequently, and that is reverse hyperextensions, the type of device and exercise, is it good for someone with a lower back injury, specifically in the case of a herniated disc? And I'm going to share my thoughts with regards to this in specific relation to rehab and also training, and I'll give you my opinions regarding it. So on the rehab side, I've heard this many times, and I've heard some of my subscribers asking me this: is performing reverse hyperextensions good for a herniated disc, or is it good for a lower back injury? So in my personal opinion, I am not a fan of this device for a rehab scenario, and I'll explain why. So firstly, let's understand why people may perform the reverse hyperextension to begin with for rehab purposes. So people will perform this because it's a good kind of device or type of exercise to strengthen the low back, the glutes and hamstrings. But in the case of a herniated disc, people believe that it could pump maybe more blood or more nutrients to the herniated disc while performing this exercise. So yes, you will get an increase in blood flow because you're working the muscles on the posterior side, specifically in your lower back, your glutes and hams, but that does not mean it's actually going to promote healing per se. Because in the case of a herniated disc, and in case of the reverse hyperextension, you're putting someone into a position where they're getting into loaded flexion, and specifically in the starting position in some cases. And for someone with not good awareness of their pelvis or their core, or someone may not have good core strength, this could be significantly problematic if they go to perform this exercise. So what I mean by this is, in the reverse hyperextension, people will assume a position where their legs are essentially fully extended and their lower back tends to round. So it's almost similar to performing a seated hamstring stretch, where if you have both legs basically extended outwards and you're sitting down, you're just maybe not reaching for your toes. But point being is that you're starting in a loaded position, a loaded flex position, and with regards to load, and this is a specific mechanism for creating a disc herniation injury. So by going into this position, and someone with a herniated disc could already be making things worse as they continuously perform repetitions, and as they continuously kind of swing their legs downwards, they're consistently going into loaded flexion, which is the exact mechanism for creating a disc herniation. So right then and there is a specific reason why I would not recommend this, and I would actually recommend people to avoid this, specifically in a rehab scenario. And I believe there are personally better exercises out there for strengthening the core and for healing a disc herniation or disc bulge per se, such as maybe a bird dog or maybe a kettlebell swing. Just a lot better exercise out there than the reverse hyperextension. Now, we also have to talk about people with extension-based back pain. Because of the reverse hyperextension, you're gonna shoot someone into a hyperextended position, specifically under load as well. So someone with maybe extension-based back pain, whether that's maybe something like facet joint arthritis, this can make this individual's case much worse, and those kind of arthritic joints can be taken a beating, and by performing volume and increasing the volume and continuously performing repetitions can make that individual's case worse. So there's two instances where things could be made worse by the reverse hyperextension, and it's specifically why I'm not a fan of it. And I'm not saying it's kind of a bad device for everybody, because in some cases, maybe some people may experience benefits, but that's more so on the training side of things. On the rehab side of things, I would not recommend it for someone for a disc herniation or anyone maybe with extension-based back pain or flexion-based back pain because of those two scenarios. And at the same time, that specific device and exercise takes a lot of coaching. And for a lot of people, if you just see them in the gym performing it, you often see people performing it with bad form or bad technique because they may not have good pelvis awareness, or they may just not have the core stability to kind of lock themselves in and to kind of avoid maybe shooting themselves consistently into that swing phase of flexion. So over time, as they continuously perform volume, they could actually be creating a disc herniation if they don't already have one. So point being, I'm not a fan for the rehab side of things. Now, if we move to the training side of things, where if we take someone with a healthy spine, at the same time, I am, for the most part, not a fan of it for just kind of your lay person who is maybe looking to develop the posterior chain, if they even have a healthy spine. And for the same reasons, is because it could maybe cause issues to arise, such as maybe it could create a disc herniation, because we were talking about the flexion mechanism under load that could create a disc herniation, but also with extension-based issues could arise, maybe some facet joint problems as you continuously shoot into hyperextension under load. Now, with that being said, on the training side of things, it's a great exercise or device for strengthening the glutes, hamstrings, and lower back. There's no doubt about that. If your goal is strength, then it's a great kind of device and great kind of exercise to perform. However, with that being said, in the long run, it could cause problems if one does not kind of cycle it in and out of their routines properly with sufficient rest. But overall, I think there are better exercises out there that can be performed and that can get the same results without causing that same amount of damage to the lower back. That's just my personal opinion now, and that's what I believe. And when it comes to the reverse hyperextension, I am overall not a fan of it, but maybe in some instances people may experience benefits, specifically from the training point of sight. I think rehab point of sight, I don't think it should be used pretty much whatsoever. Training point of sight, in the case of maybe power lifters or someone that's looking to really develop a lot of strength and whatnot, there could be some benefits there, but it needs to be kind of cycled in appropriately for an individual. But like I said, I think there are better exercises out there that can be incorporated into one's program, and one doesn't have to essentially just specifically stick to the reverse hypers. So that's just my opinion, guys, with regards to reverse hyperextensions. I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys because I know this is a question that I've gotten asked frequently by some of my subscribers, and I thought I would just address this in a video specifically. And if you guys have any questions with regards to this video or about reverse hyperextensions or any sort of other exercises, or maybe you're someone that actually kind of injured yourself or doing reverse hyperextensions, or maybe experienced pain when doing them, or maybe you were advised to do them for your lower back rehab and you actually got worse, or maybe you're someone that actually incorporates it into your training and you've noticed benefits from maybe a strength point of sight. I'm just going to love to hear your thoughts, opinions with regards to that. And that's just kind of my opinion though, guys. Love to hear what you guys think and your experiences with regards to it. So with that being said, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and until next time, wish you guys all the best and a successful and productive day, and take care.